Hello everyone, Michelle here. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome. I'm so happy you found me. I have a Dollar Tree DIY for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you how to make this adorable pair of wall hanging candle holders. All of the materials I used to make these candle holders came from Dollar Tree. Let me show you how to make them. To get started on today's project, you're going to need a sheet of wallpaper. I picked this up from the Dollar Tree, and this is the perfect size. They have several different patterns to choose from. They have several different wood patterns. I really liked this. I thought it was very rich looking. And like I said, it is the perfect size to do two. You will only need one sheet. And then you're also going to need two of these large wood hangers. I just call them long wood boards. This is the larger one. They have a smaller one and a larger one. This does not have the size. Let me look here. Okay, it's about 18 inches long and about 4.5 inches wide. You will need two. So I really like this pattern for a couple reasons. One, I need to cut this in half, and it already shows me right where half is. And then as I place them, I'm also going to use this other line, which is right down the middle of each half, to be able to place it properly. So this type of pattern is perfect for this decor. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and trim this in half so I have a piece for each of my long boards. Okay, now before we attach those to our boards, I am going to be putting trim both at the top and the bottom. So we're going to work on that first before we attach our wallpaper. We're going to work on the trim now. You're going to need two of the giant craft sticks that you can pick up from Walmart. And then what you want to do is measure the base of your board. And you want to cut a piece that will cover that base. And to cut that, all I did was I used a pair of scissors. I originally just trim off the curved end here. You just need to cut it slow so it doesn't split the wood. And then measure it or add a piece that's already been measured and cut again. You can get two pieces, which will cover one board out of a single popsicle stick. Then once you have your pieces cut, if you need to, you can sand the edges to get them nice and smooth. And then what I've done is I've created a stain here by using some nutmeg brown and some water. So I just thin it out till it's very watery, and then it works kind of like a stain. I've done these two already. And I like doing this because it still really shows the grain in the wood, which is what I'm looking for. And then I just go over it. You want to make sure that you do get the little ends here that you cut and the sides so that the piece looks nice and finished. Now once you get it down, let it dry. If it's not dark enough, just go over it again. The wood does tend to absorb quite a bit of the liquid, so sometimes when it dries it ends up being a little lighter. So you may need to go over it more than once. Just keep going until you get the color that you're happy with. I have my trim pieces done. Now I did end up going over them twice to get the color tone that I wanted. And then here on your long boards, you also want to make sure that on the bottom, say 1.5 to 2 inches, that you cover it with the paint stain. You want to make sure to get the bottom edge and the side edges in those areas. That way, when we go to attach our trim, if it doesn't get placed just perfectly or if it's not cut perfectly, it will completely blend in with the background. So you want to do that to both of your long boards. My pieces are all dry, so I'm going to go and attach my wallpaper here. Now I need to make sure I get my spacing properly. The wallpaper should go right in the middle, and you should have enough space at the bottom to place your trim, and it should cover the top portion of your wallpaper just by like a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch, like that. A little bit. Once you have your placing and you know that it'll fit on either end, just take a pencil and mark it. It'll make it much easier when you go to place it if you have a guideline there. Now you also want to measure the width here and find the center, so you can line up your center line there on your wallpaper. And you'll want to do that at both ends to make sure that you get the piece on straight. Now the wallpaper is a peel and stick type of wallpaper, but because I'm going to be hanging something on the front, I'm not going to trust just the stickiness here on the wallpaper. So I'm also going to use a glue stick. Now I got this from Dollar Tree. You can also use Dollar Tree's brand. This is Avery. Avery is a really good brand. So then you just want to put an even coat of your glue stick in the area that you're going to lay down your wallpaper. Just take your time, go over it a couple times to make sure everything is covered and that you don't have any clumps of the glue stick, because that will leave bubbles and ridges inside your pattern here. This is just going to give me that extra adhesion so I don't have to worry about it peeling off, because I'm going to hang something on the front of this. I'm also getting the edges here because I'm going to wrap that wallpaper around the edges here on the side. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials I used to complete this project. I really do like working with the glue sticks when you're trying to glue down a paper type material. Sometimes I like it better than using the Mod Podge because you get a lot less wrinkles and air bubbles and things like that. Okay, so I have everything covered. So I'm going to be attaching it here at the bottom. You need to decide what direction you want the pattern to go. I want the points to go down. So I've just peeled off this bottom section. This is going to help me to attach it so that I don't get it too sticky all over. And then you just want to line up your markings, get that line in the center and down to where you had it. Okay. Lay that down and then go ahead once you get that one end down and remove the rest of the backing here. Now you don't want to press it down all the way until you make sure that the other end is also where you want it. You kind of have to lift it up and readjust. I picked this little tool up. It is a faux cricket tool, and this works really well to help you get any air bubbles out. So just go through and work to make sure that it is well secured and you've removed any air bubbles. Okay, and then we're going to take that and wrap that around the sides. Kind of want to start in the middle and then work your way out to either side. It'll just make it a little easier for you to do it. This wallpaper is nice and thick. I really like it. Dollar Tree had several different wood patterns to choose from. They even had a brick pattern, which I thought was really cool. And also make sure that you go through and you get those creases nice. If you enjoy hauls, crafts, and learning new craft techniques, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do upload new content every week, and if you hit the notification bell, you'll be one of the first people to know when I upload new content. By getting a nice crease, that will reduce the possibility of it lifting or curling up around those edges. Doesn't that look beautiful? Absolutely love it. So now we're going to attach our little trim pieces. I'm going to attach one here at the bottom and one here at the top. Now the one here at the top, you want to make sure that when you attach it that your string here, your jute cord to hang it, is pulled straight up so that it lays properly once this is glued down. And to glue this down, I'm going to be using super glue, wood glue. I got this from Dollar Tree, and just a little bit of hot glue to hold it in place until this sets up. You want to get a nice even coat. And then I just put a little drop in each of the corners just to hold it till that glue sets up. Then it's good to add something with a little bit of weight to make sure that you get some good contact. You're going to want this to fully set up before we move to the next stage. So I've had the weight on there for about 15 minutes. Now there's one more item I want to get glued down, and then I'm going to let it set for a good amount of time. Over in the hardware section, you can find these, they're called removable hooks. They're kind of like the command strips, but they're small, square, and clear. Now this stickum that they have here on the back, like I said, is like a command strip. We don't want to use that, so just go ahead and grab that. It just peels right off the back. We just want that little clear hook. And then to glue this down, I'm going to be using Alen's original tacky glue. It says right on the back here, it is ultra strong, it dries clear, non-toxic, ultra resistant. So that sounds perfect. So this is what I'm going to use. And I've decided here on my points to go down 5 points and place it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to place my hook right here. We're going to put a little bit of a decorative piece on the top, and then we're going to hang our candle holders. So I kind of laid everything out, and that's about where I'd like to put it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. You want to make sure that you put enough glue that you get that whole little square covered, because you want full contact, but not so much that it oozes all over. And then make sure that your hook is facing up. Now you'll have some time to move it around, make sure you get it placed well. Push it down. This glue is white when it first comes out, which is nice, so you can see exactly where it is to make sure that you have full coverage there. See, nice and full coverage. If anything leaks out and it's too much, just hold it in place and clean it up a little bit. Now you need to make sure this is fully set up before you try to hang anything on it. Otherwise it'll just slide off and it could tear your paper. Now we're going to work on the little design we're going to put up here. And I'm going to use one of these little greenery pots that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I picked up a couple. They had several different types of greenery. I really liked this one. And each little bunch here has, let's see, 1, 2, about 7 pieces of greenery. So one greenery pot will be sufficient to do both of these, or you can use whatever greenery you like. You'll want to stick with something that is small leaf because of the size of the project. And you will need to pick out 4 pieces that you like. You'll need 2 for each side. Okay, I'm going to use those 4. And then I'm going to glue all of these together so it's easier to apply it here to my board. So I'm going to take those 2 curved ends and I'm going to glue them together. And then just adjust your greenery a little bit. I want one a little higher than the other. Like that. And I'm going to glue this down up here. And I'm going to put it right in between the first point and the second point. Just add some hot glue there in place. I made a cute little basic bow out of jute cord and burlap ribbon. I got this from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm just going to place that right in the center. Keep my design nice and simple and clean. just like that. I think that looks great. Now these are the hanging candle holders that I'm going to be using. Now I found these a couple times at Dollar Tree over in their candle section. I really do like them. They come with either the silver band, which is what I have here, or they also have a gold band. So I have 2 of these, 1 for each. Now to set these up, I'm going to add a little bit of sand in the bottom. They do come with a very large sticker on the bottom, so go ahead and remove that. So you just want to put a small amount, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch. You don't want to put too much because it'll add too much weight to these. So just enough to fill in the bottom. So you can use either the artificial candles or one of the real candles. For me, for safety purposes, I'm going to use the artificial candles. Anything that hangs like that with an open flame, I'm not comfortable with in my house. So I'm going to be using the artificial candles, but that is completely up to you. Dollar Tree does carry both. Now all of the elements are done. I just need to give my little hook here a full 24 hours to completely set up before I attempt to hang this on it. Once this fully sets up, I will take a photo and add it here at the end. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Please let me know in the comments below if this is something that you would make for your own home. Thank you so much for stopping by. You know, it's always a pleasure to see you. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, please give me a big thumbs up and leave me some love in the comments. This really does help support my channel. And if you know anyone who would enjoy my content, please share it with them. Thanks again for stopping by. You know it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope everyone is staying happy, healthy, and strong. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.